Today I'm back talking about the subtle art of staying true. And how you could compare this is to learning how to ride a bike. Because what I want you to get is not just a nice philosophy, but actually a practicable way of living your life. The subtle art of living true to who you really are and what really is true. So, for this, it is really important that you get a sense when you're staying true, when you're operating in alignment, and learn to recognize when you're going against the stream, when you're going against your own alignment, when you're contradicting the truth of yourself. And this is the same like riding a bike. I'm not sure if everyone watching this has learned to ride a bike, but even if you haven't, you can just imagine what it's like. In the beginning, you have to get the balance right, and once you oversteer in this direction, you have to oversteer in the other direction, and it's still really like a sensing, feeling yourself out. But at one point, you just get it, and you no longer have to think about it. It's just automatic. It's ingrained in your system. You have mastered it, and now you can still master it further, but at least the basics are operational. And this is what I want you to get as well. That you can notice when you feel good, when you're staying true, and then notice when you're going out of alignment, and then just sort of by counterbalancing yourself, bringing yourself back to that ease, to that truth, to that flow, to just being yourself. And this requires, again, like I said, that you are aware of how you feel. Because how you feel will show you what is true. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling in alignment, that's a sign that you're staying true. Now you might still be able to scale that, to feel even better, to feel even more free. But there's already a degree of staying true. But if you're out of alignment, you will naturally be made to feel bad. And the feeling bad that you feel is the universe or yourself letting you know that you're believing something, you're insisting on something that is not true, that is out of alignment. And that is what you feel as suffering, as discomfort. It's like as soon as you start to believe in something untrue, it's like a string being pulled back, and the more that you insist on it, the tighter the string is, the more you feel off. But if you could let go of that perspective by seeing through it, then you can actually feel at ease. You can feel good. You can stay true. So by time and time recognizing again what is true, like we share with an IMX, that you are, that you exist, this is always true. This is always, you could say, a space where you can rest, where you can relax. That even in the most confusing moments, even when you feel bad or when you're suffering, there's still that sky-like awareness in you. You are that existence that is free from all of this. And the more that you practice in this, the more stable you'll be able to ride your bike, the more stable you will be in staying true, because there will be a subtle awareness of what is true all the time. It will be like an underlying conviction, an underlying layer that you can always rely upon, so that even if the waves on the surface are going wild, you're still deep in the sea, you're anchored in, and you're good. You could say you're even the eye of the storm if there's a lot of things going on, but your essence is still. It's still aware and free. But then also regarding your acts, what resonates for you? What truly, holistically feels good, feels complete? Then you know that something is true. If it doesn't contradict anything within your consciousness, and it just resonates, again, when two vibrations come together and they resonate on the same frequency, it's a harmony. And you can feel this for yourself. It's almost like you're hearing a beautiful, like a wine glass or a crystal being sounded in a vacuum of space, and you just, it just clings, it just feels good, it feels right. Then you know that it resonates, and then maybe the second after your mind might doubt it or put some limitations on it, but in that moment it was clear, okay, it resonated. It is true. And then you can also use this to then balance, okay, this is true, then this is not true. Okay, then I go here, this I steer, then I steer this. Until you get a more clearer feeling. And what I'm actually hoping that you can realize for yourself is to catch it at the subtle stages. Because there's time in our day when we feel great, when we feel good. But then there are these little moments where maybe something happens and then suddenly a thought or a feeling kicks in, and then we slowly can go down a downward spiral. And for sure this is going to happen one way or another. Even for me, you're going to be flying high and then maybe something happens which throws you a little bit off your center. But this is totally fine, and you want to become more sensitive to recognizing when you're getting a little bit out of alignment, so that when you notice that, you can release that perspective and you can just go back into your natural, effortless state of being and your own awareness that is, in that sense, always good, always true. This is also another topic I want to speak about, not too much in today's videos, but a quantum way of staying true, which actually means to recognize that you're always already staying true. Most of this journey is more just about letting go of all the untrue things. Instead of trying to enlighten ourselves, we just stop doing all the things that we're continuously doing in which we're unenlightening ourselves, like putting limitations, perspective. Your naked awareness right now is completely perfect, enlightened. Nothing needs to change. You're good exactly as you are. But as soon as we come up with a perspective, a certain point of view that doesn't resonate with how our spirit sees it, then we're in limitation, then we're in duality. And we miss the beauty, the power of just being exactly as we are, already whole and complete. And then this entire dream changes because you're no longer seeking for anything inside of the dream. You know that you're already complete. You just know that you're already whole. And then you can still interact in the dream, but then it happens out of love, just out of service, because there's nothing for you to gain. And this is the greatest place to be. Ever know when you feel like, oh, I got everything that I need, I'm fully set, I have my food, I have my money, and my partner, whatever, and then you open the valve to give to others. Because most people, like, they're just searching, okay, when I have this, when I have this, when I have this, then I can help other people, then I can serve, but I first need to get all the things for myself. But what if you're already whole and complete and you can just start sharing and giving now from that place of infinite abundance? That is your nature. That is your birthright, even before you were born. Infinity is not birthed. It always already was. You are never born, your true self. This avatar, this incarnation, this game, this was born and it will pass away. But you will remain. You as I am. Your expression might change, but the awareness that hears my voice right now effortlessly is the same awareness that you looked yourself in the mirror when you were like 5 years old. That doesn't change. The fact that you are doesn't change. Now your expression of yourself does change, but there's so much value in finding out what doesn't change, what is true, because that which is true has to be true always. Otherwise it's not true. It has to be true in every situation. Yes, we can also talk more about the relative truths that change, but just for this moment, talking about the absolute truth that you are, that you exist, that you are perfect, that you are whole. And because of that, because you already completed the game, because you already fulfilled all your desires, everything is already yours. You are everything. You can, from a fulfilled place, share your heart, your greatest passion with this world in service. And that is why you're here. To share, to give, to uplift. But don't get it twisted. You're already whole. You're already complete. You're already the one. More to talk about in the next video. For now, just a simple summary. Learn to recognize when you're out of alignment, or when you're starting to be out of alignment or starting to think in something, and then just let that go. Practice that balancing. Remind yourself, okay, what is true? Maybe first intellectual level, okay, what is true? That is fine too. But the more that you do it, instead of being an intellectual exercise, it just becomes a clear recognizing and sensing in a moment. I feel this is true, this is not true. I recognize that I am. I can relaxing that, and then you can really sense within your awareness what resonates and what not. And then the way, your IMX way, is naturally clear. Drop down in the comments anything you feel inspired to share. Share yourself with this world. Start small, but take those steps, because you are a gift to this world. And like we know deep down, we're already whole and complete. There's really nothing to gain other than to give, to share, and to expand. I'll see you in the next one. As always, stay true.